Okay, let's talk card upgrades. I'm gonna start with the upgrades I think are the most crucial. I think you should be upgrading build pretty much 99% of your games. It's just, it's weird because it's the most inefficient action you can take, I'd say. So you don't really want to build that much, but when you do, you want it to be as efficient as possible. And just being able to build a 2 and a 3 or kiosk pavilion 2 and a 1, get some income as well, is very solid. Um, I'd say it's probably the upgrade you should upgrade first most of your games. The games you shouldn't upgrade build in is usually when you can when you have a lot of large efficient animals, which are rare, but there are games. So let's say you have a lot of 3 and 4 size and even 5 size animals in your hand. You could get away with not upgrading build, but even if you planning on building a 4 size, sometimes you need like a pavilion or something to connect the 4 size to where you want it. Example, if you need rock or water adjacency, or just the map doesn't allow you to put a 4 size where you already have your zoo. So I think it's a very crucial upgrade. I think I upgraded it 99% of my games, and I would really recommend it. Next section is actually sponsors. If you asked me 2 months ago, I'd probably say this is not such a crucial upgrade, but this is just insane in 1 versus 1 because it's so flexible. And your opponent also kind of have to play around it, because even if you break 5 with an upgrade sponsors, it's very good value. And usually your opponent doesn't know if you're gonna break 5 or play a strong sponsor card. Also, sponsor cards are the strongest cards in the deck, the strongest card type in the deck, so you kind of want to get the most of them out as possible. It's just very solid in mostly 1 versus 1. And also, it's nice if you can get an upgraded sponsor card, like Spokesperson or Explorer. Just very flexible and let's see some money in 1 versus 1. Animals. I think you have to upgrade animals at some point at the game. Because even if you're not planning on get, doing use of the rep or playing a card that requires upgraded animals, you're still gonna want to do animals at 3 at some points. And it's just very awkward not having upgraded animals, because usually when you do animals, you want to play 2 animals. And then you have to wait for it to get all the way up to 5, and it can be very, very awkward. Say, example, you want to do a con, but you have to do animals before it, and you have like this or something. You're gonna have to do either spend 2 X's and then do the con, or put sponsors back or something. It's just very crucial, and also most of the good animals require upgrade animals. Also, the animals upgrade is nice. Um, Even on a map like Research Institute, where you can ignore the upgraded animals requirement, I'd upgrade animals most of the time, because it's just so crucial pumping out animals at the right time and not having to worry about the action being at 5 most times. Association is it's a good upgrade. Mostly you upgrade it to get 2 more continents. Donations are okay. I'd say you should always donate in 2 and 5. But I see a lot of people just spamming donations beyond 7, and you can do better stuff for that money, especially if it's a long round. So be careful about over-donating. Also, what's really nice about upgrading a Soch is that you can donate and, for example, grab a unit that gets 2 shield or something for your last action, which makes you be able to cross with a bigger gap than before. But usually this is, if I'm upgrading sponsors, usually a Soch is the card that gets cut from the upgrade scale. Also, something to consider is if the bonuses up here are really nice with upgraded Soch. For example, on Research Institute, you need a worker to get 2 shield. If you can't get this worker any other way with a animal or spokesperson, it's highly valuable to upgrade a Soch just to get these 3 shields from here. If you take another map, for example, it's not the best example because you can kind of cheat on the worker up here. But if you have a Silver Lake, for example, when you have 2 shields on the last uni and no shield up here, you can get away with not upgrading a Soch, since there's only 1 shield up here, but there's 2 shields here, which is very nice. If there also is a lack of basic conservations to do and no one puts them up, it also goes up in value to upgrade a Soch, because you can still use your Soch action for other things than 2 rep, like grabbing a continent. Cards, probably worst upgrade in my opinion. I think the main reason to upgrade this is if you want to go past 9 reputation, because these bonuses don't seem like much, but 2 shields, 2 cards, and 2 X's is actually very decent. If you if you're gonna face a good player and trying to draw good cards from range, it's gonna be tricky, because a good player knows what cards are good for you, and he's gonna do his best to prevent you from getting them, either by snapping or something like that. Usually I upgrade cards last if I upgrade it at all. Exception to this rule is on the commercial harbor. You can actually get good value from upgrading cards, because you basically get 3 more money when you do the card section, and also the card selection in that case is nice. If you want to upgrade cards early, it's usually if you have a hand with a lot of cheap small animals and sponsor cards that you can play turn 1, and when turn 2 hits, you're just out of cards in your hand. That's probably the only time I'd upgrade cards early. But the standard game for me would probably be upgrading build first. Then I either upgrade sponsors or animals or a Soch, depending on the game. But let's say I did sponsors, and then I probably upgrade animals or cards, and then cards. Also, something to say about upgrade sponsors. It makes more sense to upgrade when you go for a uni strat compared to a continent strat, because you're gonna get 2 upgrades really quickly with a uni strat, and you kind of need like an upgraded build, for example, to compensate an upgraded sponsor section, which you won't get as quickly with the double continents. Also, a Soch, if you're going for a uni strat, a Soch upgraded Soch gets a lot weaker, since you can't get this bonus as quick. But if you're starting off with continents, upgrading a Soch could be very useful to get another worker. Let's say you do a con to get 1 worker from here. You can still get another worker from here, and then you have 3 workers, which means you can do double conservation projects. And if the round goes long, you can do a lot of more of nice things. So yeah, I hope this is a short, informative, and concept video. Also, I'm gonna pull up my stats on how often I upgrade a card. And yeah. So these stats are a little bit skewed, since it took me some time before realizing how valuable upgrading sponsors in a 1v1 game is, but I'd really suggest trying it and just force yourself to upgrade sponsors even when you don't have a lot of sponsor cards in hand, or upgrade sponsors, and I think you'll win a lot more games.